What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more. Yes, welcome back to the vague voice break is what you've been. Welcome back to
the more out of time than on time. Episodes
exactly.
nowadays.
Yeah, you know what? Again, the weekends are busy for me nowadays, so I need to work around the weekend. Unfortunately, honestly, the exact date of when the Stick Drift podcast goes up might end up changing to something, somewhere, whatever. Obviously, the guest episodes would then also be moved to probably fit around it, because if they're less consistent, I could always film the guest episode during the week and then it goes up on the weekend, something like that. Because if we film on the weekend, both the filming and the editing and whatever get nuked if I have any plans on the weekend, basically. And I had plans this weekend. But welcome back to the 20th episode of the Stick Drift Podcast. Our 5th to 100. Of course, welcome back with me, Sid, and my co-host, Josh L., of course.
Of course.
Back to the podcast for all things car culture, racing games, and motorsports. Subscribe with notifications on and whatnot. Leave a like on the podcast. Rate the podcast 5 stars on whatever you're watching the podcast on. There's probably like a built-in system somewhere for whatever you're watching. You know, you could be watching it on, what's a really dodgy podcast watching website?
Podview.
I refuse to believe anyone actually uses Apple Podcast. Like, that can't... Like, I refuse...
People do,
People pretend they use Apple Music. I refuse to believe people use Apple Podcast. Both have to be fake things. Fake people, frankly.
Both have, like... Yeah.
But,
Only
yes.
Apple employees, you get it for free.
Yeah. Wasn't Apple going to make a car at one point?
Oh, they still are. That team of Honda or Sony or someone.
They're still doing... Wait, isn't Sony making a car? Yes, I swear Sony's also making a car.
Sony's pairing with Honda.
Yeah.
And I think Apple and GM, I don't know.
Did Google give up on their car because they were making a car too?
They probably haven't, but...
Everyone's
I think they just switched to developing software for car, like Android Auto and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they just fully switched to that.
Because I don't think we've ever seen any of those kind of cars go through, have we? Like
the Sony one was just an Accord with with like it's just an Accord edition essentially with
I
Sony.
guess it's the cheapest way
features.
to get a car.
Oh, you know,
under
they
your
will
name.
be existing model with features put on. It'll just be a higher tier model.
Exactly.
Than existing
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's like I was watching like a thing about the thing that relates to this ghost kitchens. You know, like Mr. Beast Burger, where it's not like a place. It's just like established places make them. It's like that.
Yeah.
They already have the format and everything for a restaurant. They just put a brand name on it, basically. It's essentially that. I guess they just yoink a car that already exists just so they can put a brand name on it.
Yeah.
And then say they have a car when it's just a rebadge, whatever. But this week on the Stick Drift Podcast, of course, the 20th episode, Stick Drift Podcast, there is a fair bit of extra news outside of the car world. We've got a few spotted while spotted. Of course, we already talked about the Ferrari SUV last week, but we've got news on, in fact, I believe a reveal for the Ferrari, what is this? The Ferrari 612 brake horsepower Roma Spider. It's a convertible, really weirdly modernized, like F12.
Folding fabric roof closes in just 13.5 seconds! Exclamation mark.
Whoa!
That is impressive.
But we'll be talking about that on a similar thing. A smaller G-Wagon, I imagine. I was going to say maybe Mercedes want like a Urus, this new Ferrari competitor, but the G-Wagon kind of was that already. Like, the same type of person that would buy a Urus would buy a G-Wagon, in my head, at least. But yeah, a more baby G-Wagon is how it's referred to in the article from Autocar. We've got news on Lancia has hinted a Stratos-inspired concept, but it's a concept, so like, whatever. You know, it's not like it's actually going to get anywhere.
Why don't you make rematch Fiat 500s now? They ain't got the money to make anything good.
Exactly. Speaking of rebadges, I guess. But the Mercedes-Benz EQG keeps concepts looks inspired photos. We've seen, obviously, spotted while spotted. Big news on a Kia, but like, can it be big news? It wasn't big news. It was a Kia.
How many people are hyped for it, unironically?
Yeah, like, it just kind of looks
it's
like...
It's an interesting design. I mean, it's a SUV.
If you told me that thing was already on the road and I'd seen 50 of them by now, I would believe you. Because
if it was a hatch, it would be infinitely more interesting, but it's not.
Well, that's just the anti-SUV bias of the Stick Trip podcast. But yes, that news sort of... I don't know, is there much else for the actual... Because I'm seeing the Puma ST, and we talked about the Puma ST.
Volkswagen electric, not BMW electric wagon.
Oh yeah, an electric BMW wagon.
Arrives spring next year, becoming the first bespoke all-electric estate on the market.
Which I guess it's only competing with what? Did the e-tron wagon, did that become a thing in the end? Did that exist? Because we saw concepts of it,
no,
right?
They made a concept for it.
Okay, but I imagine that'll exist eventually. Because like, what electric wagons even are there? Because I can't think of any.
There's literally zero demand for estates as it is at the minute.
I guess, yeah. Which... I have just become a wagon enjoyer within the last, like, couple months.
It's an SUV, but better in every single aspect humanly imaginable. So.
And there's that one really customized Avant RS4 that just looks so good. They never have it parked outside anymore, and I'm livid. I just have to look at, like, an A3 and, like, it's like a... they've got like a VW van, not the ID Buzz. They don't have that out either.
The Transport.
It's just like a VW, like actual van.
Yeah.
But they've dropped it and it's fully black rims. Like, it's quite a cool place to cycle past, admittedly. But yeah, that. Oh well, then the other topics, which we'll probably shuffle the segments along, given there's not a lot of car news and not a lot of news that would. And the news that is in there isn't really news that's worthy of escaping those segments. The last segments of the podcast, the gaming segment and the motorsports segment, have big things to talk about, which is the Unbound update, which we definitely have some opinions on, and the you showed me a clip.
There's
of
opinions on the
Unbound
update.
I didn't say
that clip
good
I sent you
opinions.
was F2. That was dive bomb of the century.
An F2 clip that I will watch for the first time and laugh at.
Yeah.
And actually, no, I think I did watch it. Yeah. But and then something with the FIA and Alonso.
You could talk about the MotoGP wings. They just have
that
wings
too.
now.
Yeah, we can talk about that in the motorsports segment too, I guess. But from that to the first topic, the Stick Drift podcast. Which reminder to subscribe and leave a like on the podcast. We have gotten an absolute monstrosity of a car, and that is the Ferrari. Oh dear, the Ferrari Roma Spider. We'll run through it now.
It's their first convertible in like 30 years.
Whoa.
Do you not want it? Buy it.
Is it actually their first convertible? Because to be fair, it feels like it would be. Because the last Ferrari
first convertible since the 430, and I
since 430, so just about 3 hours, 5 hours ago, but 6 hours. I can't do maths. The 430 joke. There's a 430 joke somewhere. But yes, this is from CarWow, introducing the Ferrari Roma Spider.
It's the first one in like 20 years.
Oh yeah, I guess that's notable. It just looks like a fake concept. 1, 2. It looks like a modernized version of like the F12 series, like the Berlinetta.
It's either going to be one of those ones that holds its value really well, or it's 40 grand in a few years.
I mean, maybe it'll I don't know. This is a real non-Ferrari.
There's no hype behind it.
No,
it's not got SF90 levels of hype.
I remember they had like one real futuristic looking one that they were really... The SF90. I remember that Instagram was going crazy about this thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, for some reason, I was following Ferrari on Instagram. I think I just felt like I was supposed to follow
the SF90 was the one
brand.
that was in Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. But I think I followed Porsche as well. They post, like, slightly aesthetic stuff every now and then. I don't use Instagram enough to care at this rate. But this thing is a kind of cringe. Admittedly, the back... Have you seen the back of this? It's terrible. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But the statistics of this car, the Ferrari Roma Spider, folding fabric road closes...
Roof. They mean roof. That's a car.
Oh, right. That makes more sense. Yeah. Closes in just 13.5 seconds. Let's go. I think this thing can win the fastest closing convertible of 2023. It gets the official Stick Drift
that's
award.
The first stat they list.
Yeah. Same
Imagine
point.
you go to buy a Vauxhall. This boot closes in 3.8 seconds.
Yeah. Oh dear.
It costs 170 grand brand new. This is going to be a new California.
Yeah.
This is going to be 40 grand in 10 years.
I'm trying to think what, like, the logistics, right? If you wanted a faster closing hood, surely you make one that's like one piece, like the whatever people say. But you make one that's like it's one piece, and that just like folds into the car, right? It like rotates up, like it goes and it rotates 180 degrees into the car. Surely that would be quick, because there's no moving parts. Well, there's one moving part.
Or you could have a Targa and just, I don't know, you could take the roof out and put it in the back of the car in about 4 seconds.
They do need they need the detachable roofs. That's the aren't those the ones that can just like fly off if it's too windy?
If they're poorly made, I mean, it is a Ferrari. So
a Ferrari with a detachable roof would be like, imagine spending that much money on a car and then it comes with it's like each sold separately for the
paying that much for a Ferrari that looks like this.
You know what? I'm surprised Ferrari. You know what? I don't know.
This is really low. Like, this is entry level for Ferrari.
Yeah.
And it looks it, really.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I get that they're like supposed to be a prestigious brand or whatever, because you know they're always like, oh my god, don't paint car pink. But like, I'm surprised that they're not so prestigious and trying to be futuristic that they haven't got a subscription service yet. I mean, I guess we wouldn't know. Yeah. Looks it really tiny for back 2 seats, but yeah.
Yeah, I just saw the seatbelt in the back.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
If you roll over if someone's sat in the back, they're getting decapitated.
Yeah.
Sure.
But what's it called? I'm surprised Ferrari hasn't made a subscription service yet. Admittedly, it should cost to actually have your. Imagine it costs to have your roof down. That would be pretty funny.
But don't give BMW ideas for the Z4.
They would be the ones to do it too. Oh no!
The SLK and the Z4 are gonna, you have to pay £4 every time you want to move it up or down.
Like, yeah, it takes like 30 seconds to go down and up if you don't pay, but it does 10 seconds if you do pay. Oh no! Oh god! But this really is the opposite of a prestigious Ferrari. It really looks like one that's gonna be just.
This is gonna be one of those ones you can pick up cheap.
Yeah, I mean, well, a starting price of £175,000.
Like, I know it's a Ferrari, but for 600 horsepower, 3 second 0 to 60, 4-seated convertible, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, for a V8 sports car, you're looking at 100 grand plus instantly. And it's only really like an extra 40, 50 grand on for the Ferrari badge.
Yeah. I mean,
and it will hold its value a lot better than like an RCF or something.
Oh, yeah, true. Again, like, I don't know, do they even make convertible Porsches? Of course they do, yeah. A convertible Porsche would
probably do.
Tank it. Yeah, I think the Boxster's convertible, right?
Oh, yeah. The Boxster 170 grand. I think you could spec them up to like 104 or something, which is wild.
Wait, is it based on a thing? Is headline edition top breaking decade-long trend of hard top convertibles? It's a soft top.
This is the new California. This is the new California.
Is that what the point is? I think it's probably.
Oh no, the California is like the poor man's Ferrari because they're like 30 grand.
Oh, as in like it'll be the one that it'll be the dirt cheap one that people pick up. Yeah.
No one's gonna want these at all.
Yeah, and they're kind of just a whatever. It's a pretty cringe car.
Imagine this in 15 years when the alloys are all beat, the paint's knackered, the soft top's ripped.
Yeah.
Like you can see it. This is gonna be.
Kind of looks like the California too, admittedly. It kind of does look like a modernized California.
I ain't seen the California in ages.
It's about to come up on screen. It does look like a modernized California.
They made a convertible California. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. All of the ones that I'm looking at here are convertible. But it's the same kind of shape too. Oh no.
It has to be a new California. It's
that exact same type of shape. It's literally just that. Oh no.
They've gone, what was our worst performing car? Let's make another one.
Well, imagine if it was the cheapest, it probably performed pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like whatever, really. Pretty
Well,
good
this is
car.
the Spider, and it says it's got the same performance of the Coupe. They
Yeah.
make a hardtop version of the Roma.
Oh,
I've
so
never
they're-
seen anything or heard anything about it.
Oh, they already make one that's
I'd assume so.
I guess Roma Hot.
It'd be
or just
Roma
Ferrari
Coupe.
Roma Ferrari, I guess. It is just
Yeah,
it's
they
an
do.
Aston
They make
Martin. Wait a minute, it's just an Aston Martin.
It looks a lot better hardtop.
Yeah. Admittedly, it just looks like an Aston Martin, is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
But yeah,
That's not the hardtop one's not a bad car. The
I'm not
convertible.
gonna, yeah, like
tragic.
looking at it right now.
Considering it's 4-seater.
Pardon me. If I wanted a car that looked like that, though, I'd get an Aston Martin. Is the issue? Like, that it's short.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I mean, I guess that's the competition. That's why it's priced at like 170 grand.
Yeah, true. It does look British. It does look like a more. I guess I think that is just because I feel like it looks a bit more like Aston. Oh well, though, it's a Ferrari, and it's
Think an
pretty
Aston
cringe.
Martin badge there. It looks like an Aston Martin concept from like 6 or 7 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's exactly that. Like this could be in a James Bond movie, and I wouldn't bat an eye. From
It
that,
looks so much worse.
yeah, what?
Convertible.
Yeah, it's disgusting convertible. Which I don't know how you manage that. How you
Also,
make
if
it,
you're sat in
like-
those rear seats in the hardtop version, it's assume like being in prison.
Yeah,
Like that, with how quickly the roof slopes down.
yeah.
Sit like this in the back.
Soft top roof. Oh no. Oh well. I wonder how much is the Roma sell for currently? The normal Roma?
Oh, it's brand new. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Roma Ferrari.
172 for a 20. That this 2020.
172. That doesn't sound like a starting price. What has it gone up like, or gone down? $3,000? I don't know.
I think that's for the hardtop. You pay $3 grand extra for the.
Oh, you're paying to have a worse looking car. Oh no.
Roma.
It's also got stats such as a 0 to 60 of it was like
What's the
3.4?
RRP? 174. for
175 for the soft top.
There's not many for sale.
Oh damn. Well, good. People don't want them. With 612 brake horsepower, V8 engine in a coupe, rear axle through an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. Those are words that mean things. Those words mean things. There's meaning
Where did they
towards those words.
compete in with Aston Martin and not offering it with a manual gearbox?
Yeah. But then again, BMW's trying to compete with Rolls-Royce, so what is the car industry anymore? So yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But going from that one, because obviously not a lot of notable stuff. I guess we could sort of skim over a quote baby version of the G-Wagon. This is a complete concept, but essentially, I guess, don't they already have SUV? Yeah, of course, it's Mercedes. They've got like probably 50 different shapes
well,
of
they've
SUVs.
got the GLC.
Yeah, exactly. The GLC. I think they probably just want. I guess maybe, yeah, just like a shrunk down. I guess it would look closer to, instead of the GLC, which looks more like the default,
Well,
like
it's
BMW
built on
SUVs.
the CLA platform, so it's just
Yeah.
a Mercedes C-Class with a bigger body on top.
But I imagine, because like the more classic Mercedes SUVs,
Yep.
those look closer to maybe like a BMW SUV. I guess a
Yeah.
G-Wagon one would be closer to a Land Rover? I guess a more of a like the blocky shape, the real
Discoverer.
yeah, like that's what I mean. And I mean, I guess Range Rovers are really round nowadays. They look so goofy for it too. But Range Rovers are all round and whatnot.
I was going to say I don't see anyone buying this, but people drive Range Rovers. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to. You know what? Maybe it's the Ferrari thing, right? Making a much lower prestige market, I guess, right? Which Aston Martin is.
Which
still
is
pretty
C-Class, it's 40 grand brand new anyway. It was never really prestige.
Yeah, a baby version of the G-Wagon. Because the G-Wagon is like, I think I said, probably not on the podcast, maybe I said earlier, I don't actually remember, honestly. But, like, the G-Wagon being more of the Ferrari SUV, the Urus competitor, I guess maybe they're trying to dip down into the actual general SUV competing thing. That kind of area with we're still keeping the G-Wagon name, I guess, right? Because that probably brings sales, because it's a G-Wagon.
New G-Wagons are cheap, Jesus.
Are they? What, new ones?
You old ones. I don't know what
old
new
ones
cost,
would be.
but you can pick up old ones for like 20 grand.
Old ones look really dated. Like, you can tell an old G-Wagon from a new G-Wagon. It's one of the ones I noticed because I saw an old G-Wagon. The new ones, I vaguely
The ones that want out of GTA are the ones that are like 20 grand.
Yeah. Like, the new ones, I can see why the Eurus audience would like the new ones. The old ones, yeah. They look like you had your midlife crisis in, like, 2010, is what it looks like. But a smaller G-Wagon, whatever. Speaking of different cars going into different shapes, one car that knows a lot about, like Mercedes, just going from one shape to the next, is the BMW electric wagon. We kind of we touched on this in the intro to the podcast, but electric wagons and whatnot.
I imagine it's just an I've lost the story. Where has it disappeared after?
And I've lost the story.
I've lost the story.
But I'm surprised that there's not as much of a market for wagons as I thought.
They're just gonna make... there really isn't. There really isn't.
Yeah, because you'd think they still work as a family car, you know? Especially, I guess everyone wants a goddamn SUV nowadays. Yep. Everyone just wants an SUV. Yep. It's so goofy.
No one actually needs the storage room. Like, the people who do, like, every day buy a van.
Yeah. Wagons can look pretty bad, though. I will admit. I like SUVs. Wagons can. There's some really ugly looking wagons. Yeah.
French ones in particular. The French know how to make some bad.
Peugeot made a good wagon. Okay, the French are reforming currently.
Reforming.
That most recent Peugeot one was actually kind of okay, but the rest of them, it would have to be like an Avant. Maybe some of the BMW ones.
They make a Golf R wagon, which isn't terrible.
There's those gimmicky ones like the Skyline wagon.
They made an Evo wagon.
There's an Evo wagon. I've seen many of the Evo wagons, surprisingly. I think like at least 3, which is more of an more Evo wagons than I thought I'd see. But then any of the other ones are more... They go into the AI car category, really, is what they fall into.
Yeah. Like, there's a load of Mercedes ones about, but they're just so generic. They they are AI traffic. They blend in.
Oh, and speaking of, you remember that ugly BMW, the one that basically started off the Stick Drift podcast? Which, now that I think about it, that was one of the things that, like, it was because that happened the same week as, like, the electric Dodge. And it was like, good, I did have an idea for a car podcast, might as well start it. That ugly M2 is what it was. The Sidemen used that in a video the other day, and they were like, whoa, it's a fast car, whoa! I don't know. I thought that was funny, because it was the ugly M2 that we talked about. But I say that because models of BMW we've talked about before. This is definitely, I believe, a render from Autocar that we're looking at right now, but it looks closer to a BMW i7 is what it looks like.
It's just going to be based on the i5 when that releases, which is going to be a smaller i7.
Yeah, but that'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Of course I search i5 and it's going to be CPUs. Like, what did I expect?
I can't imagine they're going to sell many of these.
How
many 5 Series BMWs do you see as it is? And this is going to be more expensive than the normal 5 Series.
Okay, I'm looking at concepts. I was going to say the i5 looks kind of nice, but it's concepts is what I'm looking at.
No, it'll just be like the they have the i4 at the minute. Yeah. It'll just be a more prestigious i4.
Yeah, which I guess that's the... Oh, I'm looking at the i4 right now. That's going into more like the M8 kind of brawler looking one.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, the leveling up from the 7 is the weirdly Rolls-Royce competitor. The 8, which I don't think they make anymore, is their sports car. Do they have one? 3? Is 3 that... What's that little tiny one?
3 was the hatch. 4 was the saloon sedan thing.
Oh,
5's going to be the bigger saloon wagon.
Yeah. 7 is the Rolls
oh,
Royce.
the Rolls Royce thing. So I assume they're going to slowly fill up the in between.
It's like tracking like Pokemon. It's like they've got the numbers and they've got like what type of car they are. Looking at the i7 right now, though, you wouldn't be able to tell. I want to say it doesn't look like the average electric BMW. The i7. I guess it's got the flat grille, yes, but they've not changed any design really. They've not changed. Which now that I say that, I believe the i7 looked exactly like the M7. So
something like that.
Yeah, just something 7, I guess. But
it's going to have around 65,000 USD plus 20% for our tax.
What's this? The wagon?
This normal one. The wagon's probably going to be about 10 grand more.
Oh God! Oh no!
This is going to be close to £100,000 car. This is going to be at least 80.
Yeah, which
no
I
one's
guess
buying this.
It's still.
You can buy a Golf R wagon for like 40, brand new.
It's really just still trying to go off of but it's electric, which is more. With stuff like the i4 as well, right? I imagine the i4 is not cheap. But, electric cars are becoming a lot more common nowadays. It's going to have to be a pretty goddamn good-looking BMW. i4 will arrive next year.
i4 starts at 50 grand.
Yeah, this will probably be, which sucks. Which definitely sucks. But, I don't think, it's not exactly going to be an i8, right? So it's like it's not going to have much.
It better be all-wheel drive, like 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
For that price.
And it depends what side, because obviously if it goes derivative of the i7, it could look okay. It'll basically look like a henchman car, because the i7 has that like real henchman car build. It's that like blocky, blacked out. Or if it goes an i4 but a wagon, which I guess
it'll be
would make
an
it
i4 but a wagon. They're going to save us much money. They're going to use the i7 platform.
That'll make it a bit more sporty looking, I guess, compared to the i7, which again, it could look
they'll
alright.
do an M version at some point, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Which is just turn the motors up a little bit.
Yeah. If it looks anything like the Avant, it might be in my good books, I guess. I'm a sucker for the Avant nowadays. I remember. Okay, this isn't just to vaguely brag, I guess. Whatever. I gave the options to this girl I'm talking to, the Italian, as I refer to her as, on YouTube and whatnot. It was the FC, because we were talking about cars and whatnot, and my dream cars. And out of the FC, the Taken, the Concept 74, and the newest sport version of the Honda Civic.
It's just wildly varying.
I know. It's a classic JDM, modern Porsche electric,
JDM sports car, Porsche electric,
and concept hydrogen. Like it's just But out of all of those, the Type R Honda Civic got like that's my favorite one. Which, you know what, I think I'd be like, yeah, sure,
Imagine if they still made the what's it called, the Civic wagon.
Imagine a Type R. I saw a Civic sedan. I just remembered. I've seen it's a sedan Honda, but it's labeled Civic.
Sort of between like 1990 and 2010. Every car Honda made, they were like, stick a Civic badge on it, sure. They made it was an Accord wagon, but it had the Civic badge on it for some reason. They made a Civic wagon, a Civic sedan.
Yeah. Oh god, someone made a concept of the thing as a wagon.
It just it works so well.
Yeah. Oh god, that like the Type R. You know what? Especially considering it's any of these cars. It's ages till I could get any of these cars. I might in the end get a Type R. If Motorfest treats me nicely, I might have to get myself a Type R.
It looks so much better as in the start.
There's a couple more as well, but a cool car. Not really sold on the back just yet. I like the spoiler though and the sporty nature of it. But I didn't even
looks so much better than this i5.
Well, this is just a render. I mean, they're both just renders, I guess.
And the render's gonna look better than the finished product.
Oh no, wagons, no. Well, hopefully it's. Oh wait, is that it? Wait, BMW 5 Series.
I mean, there's a spotted with it.
Oh, yeah. So Oh,
It looks so out
that
of proportion.
is a bit more i7, I want to say. It doesn't have the, like, the headlights that the i7 does. I'm just going to come up with CPUs. BMW i7. That's an i8. Why do I think that they cancelled that, right? I'm not wrong on that. They cancelled the i8, I swear.
Ages ago, yeah.
Yeah. Which, like, they could have kept it. It was nice that BMW had something sporty, at least.
It wasn't fully electric.
Oh, it was hybrid, right?
Yeah. So it shouldn't have had the I name to begin
I guess,
with.
yeah. So maybe it'll come. Maybe we'll get like a. Maybe it'll come. Maybe we'll get like a i9 that is just the i8 but fully electric. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
I wanna say no, not even i7 really. It just sort of maybe from the back it's got like the blockier design.
It's
but
probably
that
a new
might
platform. They're probably going to use the i7 for their SUVs and stuff. The i4 for the smaller crossovery things, and this for their mid-range stuff.
Way too long. Like, am I crazy, or it feels like it's been stretched out on all like the front
I think they
bumper?
have used the ability to make it more, because they're going to make an M version, so it's got to handle well. So they've longed the wheelbase.
Because
I think.
like, it's everything. Like, the actual, like, main chunk of the car at the back, that looks like it goes on for too long. And, like, the hood area of the car looks like it goes on for too long. Like,
it just looks bad.
No, yeah, it really does. It really does. I mean, we don't even need the render at that point. That is the spotted while spotted for the BMW wagon. You know what? From that, I can quickly go into the spotted while spotted segment of the podcast, because there's not a lot. Then we can skim through that, and then while I do that, you can skim over if there's anything left to talk about in the main segment of the podcast while I do spotted while spotted. Of course, this is the segment where we go through the cars that have been spotted with the spotted liveries on them to hide all their curves and whatnot. These are obviously signifiers of cars that are still in the testing phase. We'll see updates on the podcast as well for all these cars coming up. We begin with, obviously, the i5, the all-electric BMW wagon. Then we go to the Audi... has officially previewed
That
the
could
upcoming...
be a 5-year-old Audi SUV.
It's e-tron though, like it'll have
they've removed the front grille. Yeah.
No, what could it be? But I imagine it will just have, like, the e-tron has like a really aggressive Audi front grille, right? It'll just have like the e-tron looking. What does the e-tron actually look
aggressive?
like? Audi e-tron. Oh, not aggressive. I meant to say goofy is what I meant to say. It's got that weird, like, and like the toy car grille, right? Where it looks like it's that kind of thing. It'll have that kind of look, I guess. It looks like it'd be a big... I've seen some newer Audi SUVs. Not gonna lie, the big grille and the beefy look of them. The one that's fully customized, because it's got canards and it's dropped and it's black, because it's the same dealership. It looks kind of cool.
They just have a preset they apply to all their cars.
Yeah. This one doesn't look like those beefy ones, though. This one looks more like
this looks like the Q3 comparison, like the tiny little crossover.
Yeah. Something that'll compete with more like a GLC than... like the like
with a price, it probably competes with a full Puma or something.
Yeah, but this will be the e-tron. Well, this one will be the e-tron version.
Yeah, it probably costs $400,000 then.
Exactly, and that's the issue. And other than that, oh my god, is that all? No, Mercedes. Is that another wagon? I think that's another wagon.
It's borderline SUV.
It's a plug-in hybrid. Is the Mercedes-AMG E53 spotted during testing from CarWow? Plug-in hybrid system expected. Slim LED headlamps, whatever, who care?
Large AMG grille.
On sale 2023.
3 screens on the dashboard.
It's Mercedes.
Look at the interior view. They know their target market.
It's got like 5 screens.
Oldest Mercedes enjoyer.
Oh dear.
He's got his Angry Birds playing on the center on the right hand side.
What? Back when phones were starting to get bigger and everyone was like, "Oh, screens!" Imagine putting someone like that in today's day and age.
Imagine, right? You accidentally knock this screen and it cracks.
Yeah.
The entire dash is one piece.
One piece. One piece.
You would have to replace the entire dash.
They charge you so much. That would be hundreds. I would
Also
say.
note the lack of buttons as
Yeah.
well.
Mercedes
To turn your
are one
heating
of
up,
those.
you have to go all through the screen.
You know, you can renew your Mercedes subscription through the monitor as well, of course. And I'm fairly certain Mercedes, we talked about them, right? They're the ones who were doing like your bonnet won't open unless it's by an actual Mercedes dealership. It'll be like an Apple thing. It's gonna be like you're gonna have to get the screen changed at a
I can't imagine
dealership.
anyone's gonna have a bunch of these screens lying around.
Exactly.
It's not like it's just a 16:9. It's so really peculiar.
Yeah. You just, like, it's cracked, and you just see pasted over it, it's just like an iPad, like, just clearly an iPad, like, screen. Like, with the whole cards and everything. Because it's got Angry Birds playing on the screen, right? Like, what, you're gonna have your toddler lobbing things at it, and then, like, what? You get, yeah.
Why does the passenger need a screen? Have you ever been sat in the passenger seat of a car and gone, I could really use a screen right now?
Well, we had that last episode, right? Was it the Ferrari SUV? They had the information.
Speedo.
They have the speedo. They're like, what gear? They had the gears on their screen. Like, they're gonna go up to 5, up to 6, down
If
to
you
4.
want to do rally, I guess it makes sense.
I guess. The passenger needing a screen is so dumb, man. You know what? I understand everyone who said society.
Looks decent with the quad exits from the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say the back looks the back looks kind of alright.
Cut the back off this and put it on the BMW.
Yeah.
It can keep the front. It can have it.
The front is it. You know what? It looks like that new Mercedes shape. You know the one from the meme where it's like the same shape on every shape of car. It's that. It's basically just that, and this adds to it. Is what it does.
I like how they've covered up the badge as if you can't tell.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not
wonder
gonna
what
be.
this could be.
It's not electric. It's only hybrid. Yeah.
It's gonna weigh about 4 million tons.
Which, like, whatever, I guess. And I believe that's actually all of the spotteds for this,
Why is on the interior shot?
Uh-huh.
Why does the rev counter start vertical and go around like that?
Why? That's so different to be different, is what that is. Like, what is the point in that? The rev counter starts at the top, unless
It starts vertical.
Is that
It only
gears?
takes up, like, just over a quarter of your...
Well, I don't know.
gauge.
Those have got single digits. Are those gears?
No, that's
That's a
just times
0, 1,
1,000.
2, 3.
Yeah, because it's
4.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
Oh, I know cars. Of course I do. But yeah, that's spotted while spotted. Is there anything else in the main segment of the podcast you wanted to mention?
Not really. Volkswagen want to make a cheap car.
Oh, is that the one that's got the
Oh,
image of
you
the
know the
concept thing?
ID2?
Yeah.
They've confirmed they're calling it the ID2O.
The ID2 all? What?
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea. And they haven't said it's not going to reach the 27 grand. Was it 23 or something? Around that, like the mid £20,000 mark. They revealed it, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Am I allowed to say it looks kind of cool? It's like a
Well,
really
the ID one,
modernized...
that's the concept. It's going to be a... Oh, yeah, they revealed that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really
That's gonna be-
modernized Golf.
Yeah,
Like-
the ID2 is going to be the Golf, and the ID1 is going to be the Polar, is what they've confirmed. It's just going to be...
I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate it. I prefer it to the newest Golf models.
It looks just like a more modern Golf.
Yeah, like it's actually like a good job done on a modernization.
25-ish grand?
That's pretty
They're going to
goddamn
sell a
good.
ton of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you already see a load of ID3s about. This is just a 10 grand cheaper ID3.
And what ID means definite electric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be cheap, electric, hatch, looks...
Cheap, good range, small. Yeah.
I think
It
unfortunately
ticks about every
looks,
box anyone wants.
It looks maybe slightly too old of a Golf generation to be remastering. Because
you
does
gotta
it not
think, though,
look like the
no
2010
more
ones
Fiesta.
or something like that?
So
Yeah.
all the Fiesta customers, when Ford are never going to make an electric Fiesta, want a small, cheap hatchback. What are their options?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they have the Fiat 500e, this,
It's literally, it's this generation of golf modernized.
Yeah,
It's like the 2013 modernized. Like, it's not the most recent golfs modernized. It's the 2013 generation of golfs modernized.
They can get that ID1 sub £17,000 like they want to. They won't be able to make enough.
Yeah. Which is good, because this is exactly what we've been talking about, right, on the podcast, where it's like, sure, electric cars, great and all, but they need to start trickling down.
That's gonna, they predict that ID2 all is gonna cost £22,000.
That's insane.
They're not gonna be able to make enough of them.
Like, yeah, they're like, if it looks like that as well, like, did you say this was a concept, or did you say, like, what was this?
They revealed it as if they're releasing it next year.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look. It's just a Golf. Of course, it's gonna look like.
It's a nice looking. Like, if I had to have that parked outside my house, I wouldn't fuss, especially because I'd be like, look, it's electric and whatever.
200 miles of range. Their target was initially 200 miles of range, £20,000, and they upped it to £22,000.
Yeah.
But they didn't say the range changed, so
I think
200 mile for that cheap.
All I'd prefer if it was maybe because again, I love what they've done with the remaster. Could have been a slightly newer gen of Golf remastered, I guess, right? Like,
it's cheap, I mean.
I
when
imagine.
they're cutting costs, they're just gonna copy and paste.
Oh, it's the 2020 ones are the ones where I started hating the looks of them. This weird looking Golf, the 2020 ones. I don't like the front of these ones. Despise them.
Yeah.
So you know what? If this is what the Golf is
I mean, that's the current electric one, the one you just showed, the GTA.
Oh, is that electric? Okay.
That's the current electric one, yeah.
You wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, like, yeah. Which,
it does have a big blue strip on the front and say GTA.
I wouldn't be able to. The average person wouldn't be able to. I've only just started noticing the green on the license plate. Every now and then I go, oh, that's electric.
They've sold a load of the the GTE Golfs.
Yeah.
I see them a lot when I'm out and stuff. So.
Is there one that looks like that but isn't electric? Because if that's the case, then
they make it's got a slightly
then I have no idea. I might have seen non-electric ones.
But they've sold a lot of those, and they're like £34,000. This is
undercutting that by this much is crazy.
£12,000 cheaper for what's gonna be because this is purpose built EV, so it's gonna be better in every single aspect. With more range.
I want to say, even like timeline wise, it's in the perfect position because. This is gonna be when everything has to be electric. If this is coming out like next year or something like that, this will be like a used car by then. So it will actually make sense if they start taxing the hell out of petrol.
Volkswagen just diesel gating themselves out of their mind. Unironically, launched them into a great position because of this. If they get the ID1 out, it undercuts everyone. Like this alone is the best EV for the price on the market if they can get it out with the specs they want to.
Yeah.
The ID1, £17,000 brand new, 170 mile range.
Yeah.
It's better than the 500e. It's better than any other EV on the market, realistically, price to performance wise. And it's the cheapest by an astronomical margin.
It's in the place that like still is in desperate need of flooding with EVs.
Yep.
Like, right from the beginning of the podcast, we talked about how the EVs, all of the new ones, they're still way too prestige. It's still car but EV. Like, and then it's like, like 20, 30 grand more expensive. But then the all cars having to be EV, that's not gonna work if no one can afford any of the EV cars. Like I say again, with the new versions, they'll probably be on like a second, third version
on
of
the
this
thing
by
this
then.
ID2O, they said 230 horsepower. It'll be rapid.
Yeah, but like yeah, it's. I think like I was saying a moment ago, right? It's in the perfect position where this will be a used car by the time we get to all cars have to be electric now.
Yeah.
And yeah, if they start taxing petrol by then, a used ID2 all 2024 model. It's probably gonna be the go-to car.
Imagine if government if they could have gotten these out before when government were offering $5,000 incentives.
Yeah.
It's already insane as it is. It would have been a no-brainer.
Yeah. Like, and again, it's the fact it's a pretty nice looking car. Like, I wouldn't mind having that thing parked outside. Like, it's not a terrible looking thing. And you know what? I want to say, I think I'm kind of okay with it now. I've come around on it being a remastered of an older version of the Golf. Because, yeah, there's going to be newer and newer models of this. They're going to be building on this from now on, you know, the ID tool. God, there is going to come a time where they're going to knock off the Golf name as well. God, there's going to come a time
Polo's going soon.
Yeah, there's gonna come a time where every single company, because obviously every new thing has to be EV, there's gonna come a time where the only brand names left
Imagine
from brands...
a world where Renault released that, you know, the Renault 5 EV hatch. If they get that out sub 30 grand, that and this will be everywhere.
Yeah, and they're pretty cool looking. Like these are two pretty good looking hatches for EVs as well.
Tesla are really screwed.
Oh yeah. Because Tesla was also
once Volkswagen get an EV sedan out, it's pretty much over.
And Tesla were heavy on because EVs are premium. Look, EVs are premium or whatever. Because I think the electric and hybrid originally from the like Top Gear era was like their flimsy, fragile cars or whatever. Then Tesla came around and they became more premium cars. And now
I think Top Gear's negative reviews of Tesla have really ruined their UK reputation.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Volkswagen is a better brand. More people are more likely to buy a Volkswagen over a Tesla. No matter what. It's just a brand people desire more.
But I think
when they're cheaper with more range.
Nowadays, I think I'm happy to say EVs are kind of just cars. You know, you could just get an EV version of a car.
It's like 20% of all new vehicle sales are EV or something like that.
But there's gonna come a time where, like, most all of the new... I guess some of them are converting the old names into EV, but, you know...
Honda will keep the Civic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, like, you know, there's stuff like this instead of the Golf, you know. The ones that are switching over instead of just EVing the same name. There'll only be BMWs. There'll only be ID
Volkswagen can make this for £22,000.
Yeah.
Really makes you wonder if that MR2 built like cross between Daihatsu, whatever it was, and
that's supposed to be EV too, right? That's supposed to be an EV
and that was
they
said like 30 grand recommended, and we were like, no way, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
With 3 brands combining on that, and Volkswagen releasing this at this price, might actually be possible.
Yeah. I mean, hey, EVs, I gotta start flooding the market, and they need to, because there needs to be used EVs for when the government...
everyone's being caught sleeping at the minute with this.
Oh, like, what, with the...
PSA brands, I reckon, are going to be quite close behind.
Yeah.
Because they've got the Renault thing, and they're all just going to use their... I forgot Renault's not PSA.
Huh.
No, PSA haven't got a single good EV. Nissan's going to borrow the Renault one, because they own the majority share. Ford's only just started building a factory.
I mean, Mark E's... I've seen so many Mark E's, admittedly. Like, I've seen a lot of
a UK factory. Like, they have... That's why they're so expensive, because they have to come all the way over from the US. But they haven't got any local factories yet.
Yeah. We're just gonna have
Who else exists? GM. GM make the Lightning. We ain't getting...
Oh, the Lightning. I imagine they probably own brands that make EVs, for sure. Toyota is still pretending like they do and don't make EVs, so, like, I don't even...
Well, if that MR2 exists, they'll have a complete domination of the sports car market with that.
Yeah. Which, you know, if BMW came back with an i8,
that might be their plan. They might have seen there's no way they're going to be able to compete in the hatchback and sedan market, and just gone all in on producing a cheap sports car.
Yeah. I mean, we're not even getting the Prius, which sucks, because it's, like... the only good Prius they've ever made.
I think it's like a Tula, it's very Americanized.
Oh yeah, forget that it's not EV. Why is the Prius not EV yet? Like, what even?
America is why it's not EV.
But, I believe, if there's not much more to mention on that, we can go into the final segment of the Stick Drift podcast, and that is the gaming segment, where we talk all things all week about the gaming world of racing, whether that's Sims, whether that's arcades, whether that's Forza, Need for Speed, Crew 2, any single thing going on, or maybe even Simcade. This week in the Crew 2, we saw the beginning of what I believe to be the final update of the Crew 2. We also saw Stick Drift. You guys got a bonus episode as well as the video on the main channel. Head over and check out that. We've entered USB Tour Cities, which will get an episode 2, which will get hopefully nothing else, and then we get Motorfest. Just released Motorfest. They're in the Shamrock Celebration Summit. We've got an exclusive Nissan coming up next episode, and the return of the Magma Devo by the end of the month. And I don't mean that as in the month, I mean that is in like 1 month from now. Forza is... I never have Forza ready! I never... Oh,
as far as I'm aware, the updates doesn't even come out. So.
Is it not? No, it's end of March. No, yeah, of course it hasn't. Yeah, it's... end of March is when it's coming out. It seems like Forza is in the winter season. It's a dry season, which... bloody any season in Forza. The exclusive car is the Polaris RZR Pro, and the... car above that is the number 42 Extreme E. God, they really went in on Extreme E for like one stint. Did they do that? Is that what they do? They like just go heavy in on like one thing for some reason out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about it, like it's kind of a big month for race. It should be a big month for racing games.
Should be. Shame EA exists.
Unbound got the announcement of an update and the release of an update. Forza's getting their second expansion. The Crew 2's getting their final update and more info on Motorfest. But it's kind of just March. It sure is March. Because, like, all of those things are like, the Forza expansion is like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, maybe if it was a Hot Wheels, I feel like the Hot Wheels one had more hype than this one does.
Yeah.
And people were upset about that one. Exactly, because people were, like, baseline upset with that one. The Crew 2's update, I feel like people have really liked this one. Actually, admittedly, people have really liked this Crew 2 update. The game was pretty dry just before this. Motorfest is coming up. Crew 2's really just sort of, it's pushing anything out. It was a big update, right? We got an island and whatnot. That just sort of was, we got a new update. You know, it's my job. I'm still in the Crew stuff as well. And then the Unbound update. So, I don't believe we have had a chance to talk about this on the podcast yet, because I think
there's
the announcement...
nothing to talk about, really. What?
So what was the update?
2 reskins.
Yeah.
One's EA Play exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Cops in online. And
which should have been in the game from the start. And...
new skills, that's it. There's nothing else.
Oh, and they made some adjustments as well. I was watching Craptastic Jack's video about it. So, so, you know the issue that was, like, Crown Vic swapped Ferrari, and it was just insanely overpowered in that category. They finally fixed that. You can only go one above or below whichever rating the car is. Sure, great.
It's the least of that game's problems now.
Yeah, balancing is nice, I guess.
Like, you make all these balancing changes, but if no one's playing the game, there's no point.
You would think a Crown Vic swap Ferrari would go as fast as a Crown Vic, but no, Unbound video game logic, I guess. It's like...
I imagine the Ferrari handles a bit better than a Crown Vic.
I guess, yeah. I suppose.
I'm no suspension engineer, but...
Yeah, but the car's pretty cringe. One was like a Maybach. It was a Maybach Merc, which, sure, yeah, great. Oh, there was TDU. No, there wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
There was news about TDU News, I think.
They announced they're going to do an announcement every month.
Yeah, and there was images, I think.
I think we're due one pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was images of inside the thing, and no one liked them. So.
Oh, did they not? Was that the consensus on those?
Your main show was just calling them PS2 or mobile games. So.
Oh, no. And that game is probably going to be delayed.
We then also have... the access images.
Oh, no, I haven't. What else was it? What else does it have? Oh, the update. Back to Unbound update. Cops in Online. Craptastic Jack even said, this whole update is such a non-update because it's everything. It's exactly what the game should have been from the start. Yep. Cops in Online. How is that not a thing that was in the game at launch already? Like, come on now. But Unbound, man. God, it really should have been a big update for racing games. A big month for racing games, but really wasn't in the end. Crew did okay. Forza's it's probably gonna be a playable update for 20 minutes. And Unbound is still Unbound. Not much else in the world of gaming, but there is actually a few things to talk about in the world of motorsports.
More than one thing for once.
I know, like almost like 3 things. We can begin with F2, I guess, and I'll have the clip on screen.
I think it's like, I sent you like the full video of it or something, but yeah, it's just the bit I sent you.
Yeah.
It's dive bomb of the decade.
See, so I saw it originally, and from this angle, it looks like the red guy dives in too hard. But then I realized when they show the other angle, right? They show this like kind of angle, right? And it's clearly the red guy's line. It's clearly his line.
They're both red.
Like, well, the Alfa Romeo one. I mean, the brighter red. The one with the Alfa
bright
Romeo.
red one's at fault.
Is it him at fault? Who's one?
Yeah, so what do you mean? He dives from 2 cars back and has zero intention
Is it the
of
guy
pressing
whose
the brakes.
camera we're on right now?
No, it's the guy who's hitting him is at
That's
fault.
what I mean. That's what I mean. This guy's
the other
not at
one's the
fault.
Alfa Romeo.
Huh? Yeah, the other one, as in I mean separate. The other one's Alfa Romeo. This guy's bright red.
The one with green on it. The one with green on it isn't at fault.
Yeah, and like from this angle, it looked like my brain went, "Oh, he must have turned in too quick." But then yeah, they showed the other angle, which is more so.
He's behind the Alpine.
Mm.
And then decides that he's not.
That one's pretty funny. So he's just like, where does he come from?
Look at his brakes. How is he braking so late in that orange?
He goes in and just like, what was he thinking? And then
like he would. There's no way he would have slowed down enough for that corner in the first place.
No, he's just a full pelt still. Oh dear. And just flies into him, and then they both go off, and just poor Italian livery guy. Like he just And again, it wasn't even the guy behind him; it was someone behind that guy.
Yeah. Like, that is the most Crew 2 PvP moment I've ever seen in my life.
It's comical. It looks like it would be in a Cars movie. Like, what kind of, it's
not like he misjudged the braking zone by 5-10 meters. It's like a solid 50-60 he just decided not to brake for.
Well, he's still going, like, even, say Italian livery wasn't there, right? He's still going way too fast.
He was going way too wide. He was no way he was making that second corner.
Like, yeah, like, there's no way. He would have gone onto that, or he would have slid out or something.
He would have to have cut the corner.
Yeah, exactly, right. He would have either cut the corner or slid out trying to not cut the corner. Like, what? There's no way that could have got... What was the consensus? What did he say afterwards? Because, like, what was the...
I haven't actually seen that. I decided to watch the F2 race because I was bored. And saw that. I was like, yeah, that is a funny moment. I think the commentators were saying he was going to get a penalty for the next race.
Oh, what? So he just was like, oh, fuck it. I'm going to take this guy with me.
Well, watching the race... Actually insane how good of a race it was to begin with. It was like 3 cars fighting for the lead the entire race. It's not like F1 where Verstappen's 5 miles down the road, but yeah. He'd done it before and got lucky. He overtook 2 people in that corner 2 or 3 laps before by just dive bombing and hoping everyone else gets out of his way. And I guess he just assumed they'd get out of his way again.
You know what? It's the kind of thing Jeremy Clarkson talked about that one time. Where it's like, F1 is boring because there's too many rules and no one rams and everyone just goes at pace or whatever. This makes it all a lot more exciting.
Yeah, when no one knows how to race properly, yeah, it's a lot better.
But speaking of F vehicles, new images released of the MotoGP updated cars. And they're just slowly... What I tweeted was they're cosplaying as F1 cars. They've got
it's insane. In the Motorsports Segment server on the 16th of the 3rd at 1709, I put images, right? You only... I don't haven't watched MotoGP in forever, but what I was under the consensus was you're allowed to make 1 modification to the body per season.
Yeah.
So you obviously got like, because like a few years ago, wings started appearing, like tiny front wings started appearing. Like I sent an image of a 2020 bike, right? It looks like a motorcycle with very tiny front wings.
Yeah.
The one above that in all black, with it, because it's not got the wing on it there, because that's testing. But it's got like an actual F1 wing. It's got a rear diffuser. And like you can see on the bottom of the forks, it's got like a little like that shape at the very bottom of the wheel.
Yeah.
That's another aerodynamic device for when it's leaning over, it acts as a spoiler.
That's kind of cool, actually. I mean, it's cool to see, I guess. I guess F1 has had a lot more funding for that kind of aerodynamics research.
The rules are meant to make... They tried to ban wings. Like front wings.
But now they've just...
I don't know what's happened.
Well,
I don't know how this front wing's allowed.
So, like, all of the companies are doing it now, right? Like, multiple companies
not all of them. You haven't seen the decay.
I think you might have sent it. But,
the one with the dragon tail on it, like the...
maybe? It was like a what? It was like a spoiler, but it didn't... is it this... Is it... Oh, I'm looking at the Yamaha. The Yamaha had a really goofy looking rear spoiler, which they've got
the
rear
Yamaha
spoilers.
Is so odd. I don't get the way they've got these rear wings to be allowed. By the way, is modifications to the rear of the bike aren't regulated, so they can change it as many times as they want in the season. So Aprilia were 3D printing new wings at the track.
Yeah.
This is what the decay looks like when it sends skyboard down on it. Like it's got like dragon tail fins.
Whoa! Okay, that looks kind of cool. Huh.
But they haven't got the front aerodynamic. Like, they haven't got as much of a front wing.
They've got, like, big cheeks is what they've got on them. Like, they've got, like, weird-looking whatever those are.
Well, yeah, everyone else has these front wings that integrate into the body. Because that's what the rules sound like they mean. Like, it has to be part of the front fairing.
Yeah.
Aprilia have just gone, F1 wing? Stuck that on the front of it. I don't get how it's allowed.
You know what? I'm glad at least that in motor... Because we talked about how every single F1 car this season just looks the same. I'm glad MotoGPs actually look like uniquely like this is cool that this looks so different.
It's obviously different interpretations of the same data because they've all of them this year like have all decided, oh, we can have rear wings. But Decay have decided to have the rear wing work when they're laying down.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's the dragon fins on the side, so either way it's laying down, it becomes a rear wing. But Yamaha and Aprilia have worked it as a way that on the straights they have a rear wing. It's different interpretations of the same rule, and then Aprilia have just made up a front wing somehow. I don't know where they've... I've got no idea how it's legal.
Yeah. Pretty cool, admittedly.
How is that part of the body?
Yeah. Like, it's just an attached... It's got screws. It's literally got...
You can see how the front right spoiler works on the wheel. Like, when it's leaning over, it becomes...
What, on this one?
Yeah.
On the wheels, yeah.
They have one of the rear swing arm on the other side, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It's a cool way of doing it, honestly. But, yes, from that to, well, speaking of regulation changes or something, you're going to have to explain this, because I was looking at it happening on Twitter. So, what on earth happened with Alonso, the FIA, and third place? Like,
so Alonso gets I don't know, most race starts of anyone in F1 ever, and this race he decides to sit like 20 centimeters to the left of his box for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know how he manages that. And then he's driving around or whatever. And on lap 5 they're like, shouldn't have done that, and give him a 5-second penalty. He then serves that penalty, but the FIA some Mercedes reported it because obviously Mercedes, of course they would, because the rear jack was touching the back of the car before the 5 seconds was over. So when the car came, they put the jack under it, but don't lift it up. Obviously, they put the jack under it. The FIA, in their 800 IQ wisdom, decided that was illegal.
Yeah,
and gave him a 10. It took them 35 laps and a podium celebration to come to the conclusion that wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
Then Aston Martin showed the FIA images and videos of other teams doing the exact same thing. And, so then it was reverted.
Well, good on him for getting it reverted, I guess.
Oh, it's not why Aston Martin were letting that podium go.
Yeah, I saw every single, like, all of Twitter was like, oh, double revisions or whatever is terrible or whatever, and I saw, like, Alonso was reinstated
Alonso's
third.
reaction was kind of funny.
What did he say?
Before the penalty was overturned, he was like, I got my images on the podium with my sponsors. I'm happy. This just makes the FIA look bad.
Yeah. You know what? That is a really respectable take. The guy's
he's only happy because he's in a good car this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's been the big talk of this season, right?
Yeah. Aston Martin have just showed up and had a great car.
Which
it's obviously not Red Bull good. It's
yeah. But like, not much.
The race, it's this season as a whole.
It seems like a.
If Aston Martin can't make big leaps and bounds, it's gonna be boring.
Yeah.
Because I think it was at the start, Perez was putting almost 2 seconds a lap on Alonso, but Alonso was clearly clear of the rest of the field. Like, it's just Red Bull, Aston Martin, everyone else.
My predictions won't come true. No. Whatever I said. AlphaTauri to win. What's AlphaTauri doing?
I think their second worst team, Williams, is ahead of them right now. If that is telling you anything.
No.
Also, Sargent in qualifying had a mare. He set a lap that would have put him through qualifying to Q2.
Yeah.
But he touched a line on the main straight.
Yeah.
And got his lap time deleted.
Oh.
Of course. FIA moment. And then, because he only had like 2 minutes or like 5 minutes left or something, of course he starts panicking. So he's doing his next lap, and he spins, and somehow, because it's a street circuit, right? Somehow doesn't hit a wall, but ruins Albon's lap.
Oh.
So Albon probably would have gotten out of Q3, but because Sargent spun in front of him, doesn't. Then on his, I can't remember what he did. Oh yeah, on because he crossed the line with like 2 seconds before the timer ended, so he got one more lap.
Yeah.
He goes, you know that chicane that I showed you where those cars crashed?
Yeah.
Essentially cuts that chicane, and then it hits the wall on the left with his rear left tire.
Oh.
Because he was going like 40 miles an hour too quick.
Yeah. Oh dear.
He had a mare. I don't know what he was doing, but
it makes me think of there was that one story way back when. Wasn't there the guy who like just cut over some grass because he was like, even if I get a penalty, the penalty will still have me ahead of the first place, and then the penalty did actually put him back into second or something. I think he managed to go from third to second.
I don't know what series that was in, because it was in F1. You have to give the position back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To be fair, I think Daniel Ricciardo did it recently, where he spanned someone, and the penalty for him spinning someone, he could easily just put that gap on him anyway. So yeah. FIA, but usually you have to give the position back.
Oh, well, Motorsports actually had like stuff going on, which was quite cool. MotoGP did a thing, F2 did a thing, and the FIA. So I don't think I've ever heard a good word about the FIA. Like, I think I've only ever heard negative things about the FIA. If you want
to see how boring this race was, look at the thing in Motorsports with the race classifications. Yesterday at 7 o'clock. Red Bull. If Stroll's car didn't break, it would have been Red Bull.
Yeah.
Aston Martin. Mercedes. Ferrari. Alpine. And then it kind of just, because all the cars behind that had problems. But it was literally just like, team.
Which you never get to, because obviously it's the racers that become the celebrities, but you never really get to see which of the racers is actually the best racer. It's just which of the racers signed on to the best team.
I mean, it's quite clear out of the teams who's the best.
I guess,
obviously, Verstappen over Perez, Alonso over Stroll, Leclerc over Sainz. Like, it's like, that's
nice, I guess, but Yeah, I mean, everyone's happy for Alonso as well. That what did he get it back, or was it? Did he?
Yeah,
get
he
the
got it
position
back.
in the
Yeah,
end? Yeah,
he got the thing back.
yeah.
He's got 100 podiums now.
Oh,
Perez
kind
had
of
an insane race, to be fair.
Mm.
To hold, like, because on lap 25, Verstappen got into second because the car's a rocket ship.
Yeah.
But Perez stayed in, like, exactly 5 seconds ahead of Verstappen the entire rest of the race.
Mm.
The entire rest of the 25 laps, it would, like, Perez was actually, matching Verstappen's pace the entire time.
Yeah.
Which
he's the one in... Is he the...
He's the second Red Bull, but
Oh, I
people
thought so, yeah.
like to say he's bad.
I was going to say, it couldn't have been a different car keeping up with Red Bull Verstappen, so... which...
No.
What a fun thing to watch.
Red Bull is... They don't even get shown anymore. I think we got more screen time for the battle for 15th than anything else yesterday.
Well, see, that's actually a battle, so it actually sounds fun. It's a battle.
Just two gimped cars fighting each other. Like, none of them are good.
And I back it, and that's what F1
They're not even fighting for points. Like, especially after watching the F2 the day before, where there's a 3-car fight for the lead, like, constantly, like, changing positions and everything, and it's just sad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like watching... which I'm about to make a Fortnite reference.
I might watch MotoGP this season.
If it's got this, like, goofy...
Because it looks so goofy.
Yeah, yeah. But, like, it's like watching people hot drop a tilted all instantly die compared to everyone camp at the end because they're all, like, the best players, so it's just everyone camps and everyone sits there. And the people at the top is that. But it makes a bit, I don't know, like, maybe add weapons to the cars or something. I don't know.
Aston Martin need a major upgrade.
Yeah.
If Aston Martin fight, like, if it was Aston Martin Red Bull fighting for the championship, it would be interesting. Because Alonso is the oldest person on that grid. And the level he's performing at, like, he's 40-something now, I think.
Yeah.
Which is insanely old for an F1 driver. And the level he's performing at is insane. Like, outmatching basically everyone else.
Who's this? This was, Alonso?
Alonso, yeah.
Yeah. All I know is that everyone really likes him currently.
He's the only person who's got a chance of being a Red Bull, so of course everyone likes him.
Yeah. But, from that, I think if there's not much else to talk about in the world of F1, that means that there's not much else to talk about in the world of gaming and in cars. So we will, I guess, see you boys on the 21st episode of the Stick Drift podcast. Which
won't be on time.
No, it probably won't. But hey, if we change the time, then we're always on time. So there you go. I'll figure something out to do with that, and we'll let you know what the new schedule is next week, I guess. I'm gonna have to change one of the banners, but I'm known to lie in banners, so I will see what I do with that. But yeah, that's gonna be about it from us. Subscribe, watch the Stick Drift podcast at least 50 times, full all the way through for the watch time, unless it's against YouTube's terms of service for us to tell you to do that. In which case, don't. That's about it from us. In a bit.